There was a time, let's call it the olden days, when having a job meant having an office. Sometimes I dream about having an office. An actual room where a person could work privately without listening to sneezing, chewing, second-hand music via cheap headphones, and how Chris from Procurement's Stag Weekend went. Sadly, offices went the way of the dodo sometime before I was even born. Their quiet civility was swapped for something much newer. Open plan, everyone said, was the way to go. So cool, so modern, so egalitarian. Why wouldn't you want to be able to watch someone else's food going round and round in the microwave? But just when we thought we'd had the worst of it, oh no. A new idea was brought in. Hot desking. Hot desking, if you're lucky enough to have somehow escaped it, is when no one in an office has their own desk, but instead you just sit wherever there's a free seat. It is, just in case you were wondering, the absolute worst. Hot desking means that every morning when you arrive at work you get to trudge around the office looking for somewhere to sit. It means that you can't ever keep your things in one place or have the comfort of something incredible like a drawer. Instead, the last 10 minutes of your day is taken up by carting your possessions into a locker, so that you can start the whole ridiculous rigmarole again the next day. Want to sit near the people you work with? Not a chance. Want to leave something you're working on where it is overnight? Nope. Fancy having some kind of potted plant or photograph on your desk? You're having a bloody laugh. So, given that it's time-consuming and frustrating and erodes a person's sense of belonging to their workplace, why was hot desking invented? Well, firstly, it's a cost-saving measure. Not everyone who works at a company is in the office at the same time. In fact, a study by Jones Lang LaSalle found that at any one time, up to 40% of a company's staff are not in the building. On the basis that someone is always ill or on holiday, you don't need to have the same number of desks as employees. Instead, you can work out how many of your staff tend to be in the building at any one time and cater for that number, saving you money. Unfortunately, that means that if your calculation is a bit off and people aren't on holiday or off sick at the requisite time, whoever comes in last gets to do the work on a laptop crouching in a corner. While there's no question that hot desking can save money for employers, a study by the University of Wolverhampton found that it can often be employees who bear the brunt of it. Having your own space allows people to gain control within that small environment and personalize it with pictures and little things that define their identity, said Dr. Carstairs, from the School of Applied Sciences, who led the study. The threats to that of the non-territorial office can result in a lack of motivation and even stress. Dr. Carstairs and the research team found that the little personal touches on your desk can help you cope with work stress. There have been some studies that suggest people find working without the ability to personalize their space quite a stressful event. This emphasizes how important perceived control is in being able to cope with stress. Careers coach Benedicta Banga explained how stressful hot desking can be, telling metro.co.uk, "Hot desking can be stressful. The idea of getting to a place and not knowing whether you will have a desk or not makes people anxious. Once you get to the office sitting at a desk with zero personalization, no pictures of your kids, family or your other favorite things that act as your security blanket won't make it any better. As a matter of fact, it adds more to your settling down time trying to figure out which desk is occupied. While hot desking might save money in the short term, it's not a perfect measure. If you stress your employees out enough, it can end up costing you money in rehiring or sick pay. The worst-case scenario is that it could lead to people having time off work, explains Dr. Carstairs. If there is a reduction in people's satisfaction with the environment and job, then that can impact on people's commitment to the organization. In extreme cases, they might find a job elsewhere. Hot desking is also, allegedly, more collaborative. It's supposed to break down barriers between departments and prevent a situation where the top-level staff sit together, away from the more junior staff. In reality, people like sitting near the people they work with. One friend of mine explained that her company had brought in a warm desk policy, which meant that they were encouraged to hot desk, but only in a set area of 4 desks. A bit like having your own desk, then. If you find that hot desking is actively stressing you out or damaging your productivity, why not chat to your boss or HR department? Hot desking is so commonplace now that a lot of workplaces employ it, but it's perfectly possible that everyone else is feeling the same way you are. Or it might be as simple as your HR department letting you have your own desk and exempting you from the corporate musical chairs situation. It's important not to let small, easily fixable things at your place of work get you down. Don't suffer in silence. Say something. You might be surprised by how keen other people are to help. More, Natalie Portman's simple but killer all-male director jibe summed up the 2018 Golden Globes. More, the alarming gender pay gap at Virgin, EasyJet and Ladbrokes.